Hi everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my list of things that I can't do without as a reader. Admittedly, you do not need to have these things to consider yourself a reader because you can be a reader just with your phone and a library card, and I think that is absolutely perfect and fine. I use my works library very often for kids' books that I'm reading. I do have library cards to other various libraries, although it's a little bit harder for me to get to and from them, so I don't tend to borrow things out as much, but I do have access to them. And I can also read things on my phone, so I don't need to have extra things. But these are the things that I have acquired or created or that I use all the time that I find really useful for me personally. First things first is my Kindle. I love my Kindle, even though for the last 2 weeks it's been driving me nuts. I had to do a full reset of it the other day because it just kept losing battery and shutting itself off and restarting all the time. Aside from that, I love my Kindle. I love reading on it. I wasn't ever sure that I was going to be a Kindle reader. I thought, yeah, sure, I can read on my phone. But this, for me personally, I find this easier to read on. And I just find it very comfortable and portable and very easy to use. And when I made the transition from purely just reading physical books to reading physical and digital books, this made a world of difference for me personally. Which leads me to the second thing, this strap that I have on here, which is basically how I hold my Kindle when I'm reading. This is a Strapsicle. It is from a company based here in Australia. You actually get these in sets of 2. I've done a full video review on them because originally I was sent a set for review. So they work like this, so you can literally hold them and this thing does not fall off. Like I would have to literally fling this off my hand, and I'm shaking this pretty hard and it doesn't move. So you can wear it cross or you can just have one, which is my preference because I just like that there's a little bit more stretch in it. Because to be perfectly honest, while I'm reading, I actually just play with it. There's good resistance on it, and I'm someone who needs something fidgety with my hands while I'm reading. I can hold it in the other hand and control with the other. It just depends what I feel like. And they come in lots of colors. I have 2 pink ones. I did have a purple one, which I've gifted to someone else. And I think I still have an active code for their website, which I'll leave linked down below if you're interested in a discount in them. I just find them really useful. I used to have a pop socket on here, which was great, but I actually prefer this. It makes me happy. I will leave a link to the company down below so you can check them out. The other thing that I love to have as a reader is page flags. Lots and lots of page flags. My beloved books, my very beloved books, end up completely covered in these tabs. I always have many of them on hand because invariably I always end up running out of blue and green often, and yellow some of the time, and then probably pink. The purples and the orange I don't run out of as much, and I save those for books that I'm just reading that I just want to mark, you know, a few random things in the book, as opposed to my big long series where I'm tracking things consistently through a book. I stock up on these all the time. I recently bought some that are different colors. that I should probably start using, but I'm just so set in my ways in using these colors. I know exactly what to reach for and what to grab to mark different things in a book. So for those of you who aren't aware of my system, pink is quotes, orange is sort of real world links to things, whether they be socio-political things, whether it's topical issues, etc. Yellow is for relationships, green is for major plot points, blue is for anything that evokes an emotional reaction like laughter or tears or something that's not directly related to any of the others. The light purple is information about characters, and the dark purple tends to change depending on what it is. So in some series, it might be a character that I'm tracking through a series. In other cases, it might be, oh, I think this might be relevant information for a later book. That's my flexible color for things, which is probably why I don't use it as often. I always have some kind of drink, whether it's my drink bottle with water or whether it's some kind of fizzy drink, because I like fizzy drinks. I always have water nearby because I tend to sit for extended periods of time and I don't want to have to get up. Another thing I really like, not all of the time, but some of the time, is to put ambient sounds or ambient noises on the TV while I'm reading, because I sit on the couch in front of the TV. I don't watch TV while I'm reading, I can't do that. The noise distracts me, but I can put something in the background. There is a YouTube channel called Ambient Worlds that I really like, but I also just like searching for things like thunderstorms and fire pits and whatnot. So I will leave some links to some of my favorite sort of background videos down below if you want to check them out. I also love my reading spreadsheet. I forgot to bring it with me, but I have a little notebook that sits next to me while I'm reading that I just make notes of things for the book, and then I transfer all of that information into my reading spreadsheet, which you guys can grab a copy of if you'd like it. This helps me enormously with reviewing books, in keeping track of things that I've read and reread and whatnot. It's just very, very useful for me. I like having that data, and I know it's kind of over the top, but it's what works for me. The other thing that I suppose people who are familiar with my channel will be very aware of is my digital book journal, which I keep sort of my anticipated reads lists, things that I want to read. I have my monthly reading section. So this is January. It has all the videos for the month. It has all of the books that I've read, as well as quotes that I liked from the books. And at the end of the year, I have these printed up and bound, and I absolutely love them. They're a great record of what I've been reading every year. And then the last thing that has sort of become a really important part of my reading process, because I've been trying to get into reading more audiobooks, which at the moment I tend to mostly just do rereads of things that I have read and enjoyed before, because I am someone who struggles just with audio. I don't just learn by audio. I have to be either doing something or reading at the same time. But I'm trying to train myself into being able to concentrate on an audiobook while doing something very simple. I can't do it while I'm cleaning. I get too distracted and I miss things. But what I have found is that I can do some sort of craft project, and in this case, diamond painting, which is my new favorite thing. Well, I've been doing it for a couple of years now, but I've been getting back into it recently while listening to audiobooks, and I'm getting through quite a few things because I tend to listen to audiobooks on 2x speed. I can go faster if I'm reading the book, which tells you how fast I read. I scan ahead very quickly, even sort of at the fastest playback speed in audiobooks. But 2x speed while I'm doing a diamond painting is just perfect, because I can concentrate on the story while doing the craft project, and I feel like I'm being productive and still doing something creative, which I haven't done for a while. And it's just a really good outlet. So I have completed a few diamond paintings doing this. I started doing them during the pandemic, I think, like a lot of people. So this was one, which is like a crazy Cheshire cat. Had another one in a similar style, which was a wolf. Then I did like the Beauty and the Beast rose, which I absolutely love. This one's just gorgeous. This is one that I completed last month. So I mostly did it this year. And then this was the one that I've done in the last 2 weeks. And I've gone through about, well, 2 or 3 weeks. And I think I've gone through 5 or 6 audiobooks while completing this one. I mean, I'm typically a very fast reader, so I don't really need audiobooks in order to read more books, but I do want to be able to do more crafty things and still get in my reading time. So I'm trying to train my brain, and it's going great so far. So those are some of the things that make my reading life just a little bit easier sometimes. In the comments, I would love to know, is there something that you can't live without as a reader? I'm very interested in this question, because I think everyone's answers are going to be very different. And also it's going to be very personal to you and what you do as a reader and how you make time and space in your life for reading. So this is a judgment-free zone. So this is a completely judgment-free zone. Otherwise, if you just want to let me know that you're here but you don't leave a comment, feel free to leave a book stack emoji down below. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone.